Hi, this is one of my new data science projects, and it's rather a simple one. It's basically just a map of DC. So you basically select your date up here. So I have January 1st selected, 2008, 2008, January 4th of 2008, excuse me on that. You select the shift where you can select evening, midnight, or day, and select the offense, which is burglary in this case, but we can look at all these other ones. And what happens is it'll look at crimes all across DC here, and they pinpoints where they are. So those are all crimes that occurred in this time frame under those conditions. So those are all burglaries. And it basically comes from a massive data set that I have that I got off Kaggle, and that link is right up here. And the data is actually massive, so I'm not going to go into it. It's like over 50 megs, and it takes forever. Actually, let's see what will happen if I do open it up. Yeah, you see, I'm not going to proceed because it'll slow down the video and everything. So it's a massive data source, and I was originally going to do some graphs in this project. I just decided to keep it to the map because I want to move on. And as you can see, it kind of has an about page, which is the same as what I usually have, the same page. And then I have this home page, which I actually kind of modeled it after a website called crimereports.com. So it looks very similar to this. I'll have to change that video right there as soon as this one is done, is replace it in there. But it takes you to the map page again. That's what it looks like without any dots on it or anything like that. So that's the code there. I will have to say I had some issues with fetching the crime data. That first of all, I was converting everything over in the server side in Python to I was changing the date field, and that actually took a lot longer. So it could take up to 30 seconds, sometimes a minute, to process a selection, especially if you do one from like 2008 to like 2015. It takes forever to process it. So I did use Vuex in here. As you can see, here's the store, the modules. It was rather simple. It was way overkill to use it for this project, but oh well. It was still a good experience learning how to use it. So I will say that I think that down here, when I make the call for data when I submit it, and it goes to the Fetch Crime Data action, which is over here, somehow there's a delay, and it seems like, well, not a delay, that this add markers function is being called up here with this method, and when you first hit submit, it'll fire from this and nothing will be there, and so you have to wait for the data to come back, and then you have to hit submit again and the data appears. So that's a problem in this thing, and I'll write that up in my README. But as you can see, I even have it in the Python code that tells me it's getting data, then the data is finished. That's how long it could take. So I could actually look at something else temporarily, read an article as I waited for the data to come back. And so that's one reason why I never built the graphs on this project. It was because it was a ton of data, and I should have just limited it down to 1 year or something. So I may come back to this project at another time. It depends. But other than that, it was an overall pretty good project, and it was the first time I used Google Maps within Vue, and here I used this npm library. I actually used it at work, and that helped build my confidence in its package.json. So it was the Vue 2 Google Maps right here, which I used, and it actually was fairly easy to learn how to use. I actually liked it a lot more than the normal Google Maps. So that's everything I'm using. I believe I just used a little bit of Vue material. So that's it for this project. And my next one, I'll say, I believe it's going to be on airline safety, and it's going to be a smaller project. And after that, I'll probably go back to doing another PHP project.